Well, welcome everyone to your 10 family call tonight. We are so excited to have you join us. We are bringing this call live to you from Greensboro, North Carolina. Your host, Pat Lowe, and Cheryl Church from Halifax, Virginia, and our Virginia team. The Virginia team has stepped up tonight. Miss Betsy Throckmorton's team has stepped up, and they're going to help us out with the call tonight. So thank you, ladies, for stepping up and sharing with us tonight and doing part of the call. First up tonight, we're going to have our leader, Cheryl Church from Halifax, Virginia. Cheryl is going to do a product review. If you will, Cheryl, step up. Tell us about these great products that we have with 10.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, my dear.
Well, great. First of all, is what is a better way than when you can change your life from a health standpoint as well as a financial standpoint. And Mel and Amy has brought to us the first, what we call the fifth generation of nutrition. And we have number one, which is a weight loss product. We have number two, which is our vitamin D, vitamin B, and then we have our Super 10 and Cell Energy. So let me just break it down a little bit and tell a little bit about each one of them. As we all know that everyone needs to look good, lose weight. So we have what we call Slim by 10. It's ideal for weight loss and reduction. It burns unwanted fat. It has a natural metabolic booster. It helps the thyroid and it improves memory. Now, remember, the Garcia Cambodia extract is the latest buzz in the battle of weight loss, and Dr. Oz has actually promoted this one ingredient. So therefore, and we do have this ingredient in our Slim. And also we have the green tea, the African mango. African mango, just to let everybody know, is a fruit that actually burns fat and helps the digestive system. So that is our Slim by 10, which is our weight loss. Next, we want to talk about our health from a health standpoint. We have what we call Super 10. It is healthy digestion, detoxifying your body, stimulate metabolism, reduce inflammation, treat constipation, contains antioxidants for skin and anti-aging, increase energy and overall health. Now, we all know that we've all heard of the goji berry, the acai berry, the green tea, the maqui berry, the aloe vera. All these products have been out in the market for many, many years now, and we all know what a great benefit they are to our health. So we have the product that is called Super 10. Next, we have our wonderful product, which has been our latest product that hit the market. It is Cell Energy. It increases energy and stamina, improves mental focus and clarity and the quality of sleep. It reduces muscle and joint pain and detoxifies the liver. Now, let's all talk about that. One of the main ingredients that we have in our Cell Energy is glutathione. Glutathione levels fight the oxidation of circulating fat in the bloodstream, including cholesterol, retarding the process of plaque formation in the arteries, the underlying cause for most heart disease and stroke. So we all know that glutathione is very important to our health. We are the first company that ever come out with a Cell Energy with glutathione as in the spray. Our next product that we have that we've brought to the market is D. Most people do not realize that, but about 93% of Americans is vitamin D deficiency. This plays a role in heart disease, stroke, depression, diabetes, osteoporosis, bone pain, muscle weakness, Parkinson's disease. So just a lot of this comes from vitamin D deficiency. Symptoms of bone pain and muscle weakness can mean that you have a vitamin D deficiency. I advise everyone now that we've learned so much about vitamin D, and I personally have since I joined Team Effort Network, that, to have your vitamin D level checked and be sure that you're in the range that you need to be. And least we have our B Boost. And this is, of course, our energy vitamin. It helps fight against asthma, fatigue, vision problems, migraine headaches, type 1 diabetes, bone pain, muscle pain, increase your vision. And this also has the vitamin B, the vitamins B6, and the vitamin B12. So vitamin B, if you are vitamin B deficiency, can result in the host of illness like fatigue, weakness, constipation, loss of appetite, weight loss, depression, poor memory, soreness of the mouth, asthma, vision problems, and a lot more. So let's all just think about very easy to carry in your purse, shirt pocket, coat pocket, whatever. Don't have to be put in refrigeration or anything like that. So this is just a great quality of life that these products are doing for so many people, and the testimonies around the world. And back to you, Pat.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. And I tell you what, the testimonials are coming in daily. We have got some testimonies coming up tonight that are truly amazing, and we are hearing them every day. These sprays are changing lives around the world. They definitely have changed my life as well from some issues that I had. So I'm just so excited to be a part of such a great company with such a great product. So thanks, Cheryl. Great job. We appreciate that. Now, we've learned about the 10 sprays. We got some information there and what these great sprays are all about. So now let's find out how the 10 sprays can enhance your health. And let's talk with PA Melissa Honeybee, who has worked in the medical field, I hear today, for over 27 years. And we're going to talk about tonight, Melissa and I will be talking about what is anemia and sickle cell disease. So, Melissa, are you out there?
I am, Pat.
All right. Well, the first question I've got for you tonight, Melissa, is what is anemia and what is sickle cell disease?
All right. Anemia is a very common disease, and a lot of people probably don't even know they have it. So there's some symptoms out there we can go over. But anemia itself is a condition in the body where it doesn't have enough healthy red blood cells. And red blood cells provide oxygen to our body tissues. Now, let me tell you what sickle cell is. Sickle cell is a severe, and it's a hereditary form of anemia. It's where you've got a mutation of the hemoglobin, which is our blood, and it distorts the red blood cells, and it creates it into a crescent shape, and it provides low oxygen levels. So normally, our cells look like a donut shape, but in here we've got donuts and like a half of a moon, and donuts and half of a moon. This is what's so critical about it is that where we have this disease, it's more prominent among African Americans, those in the Middle East, those in India, those that are maybe Mediterranean, those that maybe live in Italy or Greece, and those, and I don't know if I said this, African American, which is really, really important to understand that it's pretty much everybody that isn't a white American person. It's kind of scary.
Oh, it certainly is. And Melissa, what do normal blood cells look like and the difference between them and the sickle cell?
I think I got ahead of myself. But yeah, I'm going to say normal cells look like donuts. And
okay.
So it looks like little round circle donuts. But when you have anemia, that means you have less donuts. But when you have sickle cell, then you have maybe a donut and then a crescent moon, and then a donut and then a crescent moon. Well, they're all supposed to have the circular form, but when they have the crescent moon, that means that they're not receiving oxygen. And it decreases oxygen in the blood, and then that's what causes more side effects and more diseases in our system.
Okay, Melissa, with our 10 sprays, we know they do so many things in the body. So what sprays do we have that can help both with anemia and the sickle cell disease?
Well, this is a great question, because if everyone's heard me before talk about how our D regulates the tissues and every organ, then we know that our D power out there is going to help with getting into the tissue and also regulating. So we're going to create less of those crescent moons. So we're getting in there and we're getting the blood into, and it's going to create it into a donut. The same thing with our B boost, because it's a B12 deficiency. Both anemia is also a D deficiency. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase our boost. We're going to get the B12 in there, and what it's going to do, it's going to create that increase of inadequacy, and it's going to work and start absorbing into our system. And it's also going to work with a folate deficiency that we have. So we've got 2 sprays so far that we know that work with this, and we need to add our Super 10. We all know what Super 10 does. We heard Michelle Church talk about it is an antioxidant with 10 superfoods in there. So what is that going to do? If you have sickle cell, it's a very painful disease. So we've got an inflammation process that's going on with our Super 10. But not only that, we're going to take our antioxidants, we're going to have inflammation that's going to be removed, and we're also going to go in there and it's going to stop the depletion of our Bs and our Ds in our system, so we can go ahead and reverse that sickle cell or that anemia and let it produce the oxygen needed. So we can, I like to call sickle cells is like you got a flat tire, and that's what that crescent is. So what we're going to do is when we start putting that antioxidant in there, we're going to start inflating it and then making it become a donut. So what's happening is our little antioxidants putting some air back in there, our boost is putting some air back in there, and our D is getting it through all of our tissues on all of our organs to make sure that we're going to have a clean and healthy path in our bloodstream. This is super important because if you heard what I said, it's a hereditary disease predominantly in African Americans. But again, we see it in other ethnic groups such as Middle East, Central India, countries that border Mediterranean Sea, Italy, Greece. That affects a lot of people. I'm here in the UK. I'm hearing, we heard India. We heard the Middle East. We heard here in the U.S. that are African Americans. There's a lot of people that suffer from this. They may not realize it. They just may think that it's some type of aging. But we've got some sprays that are going to get out there. We're going to start preventing lots of diseases. We're going to start preventing lots of pain, and we're going to start spraying away all this away, and hopefully we get 100% out there, and people are going to have some life-changing events going on. I don't know about you, Pat, but that's awesome to me.
It is awesome, and we are changing lives one spray at a time. But, sitting here thinking about all this, it sounds like these would be great sprays for women who are pregnant to somewhat help prevent that. Do you think that's possible, Melissa?
It's absolutely possible. I've always said we can use our D, our B, and our Super 10 for sure. Those are the 3 sprays that can be used during pregnancy, pre-pregnancy, even during breastfeeding. So can you imagine that we can make sure that during pregnancy they don't get anemia, or the sickle cell that is supposed to be in their genes due to their ethnical race? Guess what? It's going to be contained, and we won't have any breakouts or flare-ups. So then we don't have any abnormal pregnancies or illnesses during pregnancies or problems with the baby when it's received into Earth. The greatest thing about it is the key: prevention, prevention, prevention. It's just a few sprays a day. It's not that hard. It's an easy delivery system, and you get instant health within seconds. So I don't know about you, Pat. Everybody can use them. Everybody.
Absolutely. Well, these are some things that we know, Tim family. Thank you so much, Melissa. Great job, as always, explaining about anemia and sickle cell and what our sprays can do to change those things around in the body. Here are some of Pat's facts on sickle cell disease. In the United States, sickle cell affects about 70,000 to 100,000 people. It's the most common among African Americans and Hispanics. according to the National Heart, Blood, and Lung Institute. About 1 out of every 12 African Americans has sickle cell trait, and about 1 out of every 100 Latinos has sickle cell trait. So sickle cell trait also affects many people whose ancestors came from Africa, Latin America, Asia, India, and the Mediterranean, just like Melissa said. However, it is possible for a person of any race or nationality to have sickle cell trait. Normally, people do not have health problems related to sickle cell trait, but under certain stressful conditions, they may have some problems. Some of these conditions include the following: dehydration, caused by lack of water in the body, low oxygen caused by strenuous exercise, and high altitudes causing a lack of oxygen. People with sickle cell trait do not have sickle cell disease. They can not develop sickle cell disease later in life. They can pass sickle cell on to their children, however. So be sure that you add 10 sprays to your daily regimen. Well, tonight, you know that we always are all sitting on the edge of our seats and waiting for our testimonials. My favorite part of the show is hearing what these sprays are doing for real, live people. So first up tonight, our first testimonial is Cindy Bomar. Tell us where you're from, Cindy, and a little bit about your background and your testimony on what the 10 sprays have done for you.
Can you hear me, Pat?
I can. Cindy, thank you so much.
Okay, great. I'm glad to be here tonight. I am from Virginia, and I've been with the company since the end of April. And actually, my testimony tonight is actually my brother's testimony.
Okay.
He's probably the reason I'm in this company today, because he's a truck driver, and he and I would talk every morning when I was driving into work. I have about a 45-minute commute, and he was telling me about these sprays and how he was feeling so much better and had more energy and didn't have brain fog anymore, and his joints felt better, and every day he was just, raving about it. So then I was like, well, I've got to try it, because I was having some of the same symptoms that he was having. And so that's how I actually was introduced to the company. But then he had another testimony that I wanted to share. He called me a couple weeks ago, and he was so excited because he had his blood checked about 3 years ago, and his cholesterol was 208, and the doctor wanted to put him on medication. And he said, no, I don't want to go on medication. At that time, I guess he wanted to try a diet or whatever. But he didn't really change his diet or anything much. So he said, it's been 3 years, and he was really afraid to go back and have his blood checked again, because he was afraid that it was higher and that he was going to have to go on medication and everything. So he hadn't gotten his results, so he called in and talked to the nurse. And she said, well, I have your results here. She said, I'll just read them to you. And she started reading down the list, and she said, and your cholesterol is 178.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he says, 178. And she said, yes, 178. And she said, the doctor said to keep doing what you're doing. And he said, well, tell him the only thing I'm doing different are these vitamin sprays. And she said, what's that? What are vitamin sprays? So he went on to tell her about, what the vitamin sprays were all about. And he said, that's the only thing different I've done. And he was just so excited. And he said, you've got to go back and give that nurse some information, because you need to get her on vitamin sprays. But he's not even, part of the company. And his wife hasn't become a distributor, but
well, that is wonderful.
Yeah, he's just so excited. He's a great testimony for Tina.
Well, truck drivers have never been able to eat well because of the life they live is on the road, and there's not a lot of healthy food out there. So I do understand. So that's great. What a great testimony. Thank you, Cindy, so much for stepping up, because we love the stories. So thanks. And tell that brother of yours just to make sure he shares this with every truck driver he meets, because he can change a lot of lives out there. Give him his wife's information, get a business card done up, and make sure they go and get in touch with her, because that's awesome. And he can touch a lot of lives, and that's what we're all about, is reaching lives out there. And what better way to do it than being on the road and meeting a lot of different people. So thanks so much. Next up tonight is Ginger Hamlet. Are you out there? And tell us where you're from, Ginger, and give us a little background and tell us about the 10 sprays and what they've done.
Yes, Pat, can you hear me?
I can, Ginger. Go ahead, dear.
I'm from a little town called Bowling, Virginia, and I became introduced to 10 back in December. And a friend of mine, I became a distributor, and I recently got her on the sprays and had talked to her a little bit about the business and the process. And so she started all 4 sprays, and in 3 weeks' time, she called me back and said, "Hey, make sure you get me another set of sprays so I don't run out." Starting to feel better. I'm sleeping better at night. I'm not coming home, taking a nap after church. I have a lot more energy. I've started working out at the gym, and the sprays she's lost 13 pounds on the sprays.
Fantastic.
So after about 4 weeks, she gave me a call and she said, "Sign me up." So she is now one of our team members.
Oh, well, congratulations, Ginger. That's wonderful. And I tell you what, you share these sprays and they start taking them and using them. They can't help but share it with someone else. So naturally, she wants to make some money doing that and help other people get healthy. So fantastic. Thank you so much. Was that all of your story? Is there anything else? Is that it?
That's
okay. All right, thanks, dear. All right, Betsy Throckmorton, are you out there? If so, step up, tell us where you're from, and tell us what the 10 sprays have done for you.
Thank you, Pat. I'm in Allen County, Virginia, and I actually have 2 really exciting testimonies to share, if I can. The first one is one of our team members is a young girl in her 20s, and she was having problems with breaking out in hives. And what they found out was she was B deficient. So they started her on the injections, and she had been on injections for about a year. And after being rechecked, she was still low in her vitamin B.
Okay.
So she started with our spray, and she said just immediately she felt a huge difference in how she felt. And her vitamin B level has started to come up. Well, she ran out of her sprays one day, and just like 24 hours time, she started breaking out in these hives again.
Oh, my goodness.
She would call Ginger and was telling her, and just immediately said, "Okay, we got to get you back in these sprays." Well, once she started back on the sprays, the hives went away.
Isn't that amazing? Okay.
Yeah.
My next story?
Okay, my next story is my sister-in-law developed shingles a few weeks ago, and she has always been real health conscious and has taken a very high, good quality vitamin for years. And she kept telling me, I'm taking vitamins. But she was in such excruciating pain, she said, "Okay, bring me these sprays." And she was on an antiviral, and she had just about finished taking that. and she showed me the rash. It looked terrible. Well, after she started her sprays, within 2 days, the rash had gone away. She was still experiencing pain, but what we then, after doing some reading, found out that the reason she developed shingles was because she was deficient. So after I think she got the sprays in her system, her pain started subsiding. She's feeling much better.
Okay, well, I too suffered from shingles right at the very beginning of starting on the sprays. Not a lot of people know that. I may have said it here and there, but I too had that problem, and within just a few days, and the pain was excruciating, and within a few days, that pain was gone after starting on all of the sprays. So I know that I warded off a lot of pain by starting on these sprays from the shingles, and it is very painful. So I feel her pain. Absolutely. Thanks, Betsy. Great stories. We love the stories. I tell you what, family, I have got a really very special testimonial tonight on our call. And it's the very first of its kind on our call. My dearest friend and sister, by another mother, by the way, but my dearest friend, Miss Gail Honeycutt, would you please step up and share this most heartwarming story about the sprays and what they have done for the little guy in your life now? And you need to star 6 so that you can unmute. Are you there, Gail?
All right.
Yes, hi. So welcome tonight. It was great to have you.
Well, it's great to be on, and like she said, my story is a little bit different than everybody else's because it involves my little boy that is a little Shih Tzu. Pat and Ed are really close friends, and last year I lost my husband to cancer. And this year I found out that my little goober man has lymphoma, and they gave him 6 months. Well, knowing that what that meant, it meant that I was either going to have to treat him with chemo and lots of other things that were going to kill him anyway, or make him lose his hair, or let him get sick, and cost anywhere between $6,000 and $7,000 for 19 weeks, and I just could not do that to him. So I was crying one night and so upset that I called Pat, and Melissa just happened to be there. So we talked about it, and she told me, both of them told me some things that I could do that the sprays could help him. And at this time, Goober was just laying around. He wasn't very active, and he was breathing very shallow because of the lymph nodes in his throat being so big, like golf balls, that with his little nose being so flat, it just, was so hard for him to do. So Melissa and Pat talked me through it. So we got him on the Super 10, the D Power, and the B Boost. And giving that to a little dog is not very easy when, he's fighting you anyway to try to take something if it's not a treat or something. So we did, got him on that, and within 2 days, he started turning around. I took him back to the vet, and the vet looked at me, and she said, because she had him on prednisone and wanted to know what I was giving him. And so I told him some spray vitamins, and she said, well, I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up. So Goober is just running around now more than anything else. He's getting me up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning playing, and all during the day he's playing, more so than he has done in the last year. And I've got to get the cell spray to get that in him. But right. I am so thankful for being introduced to these sprays because it has changed his life.
And it has changed
Well,
my
I'll tell you what, you'd have to know Goober. Goober has quite the personality, this little fella does. And I tell you what, when you go to Gail's, he's got all of his little different toys, and he's going to bring them to you so you can play with him. And I saw that over time, and, of course, I cannot imagine him, Gail, being down because he was always so playful. But I tell you what, that to me was one of the most heartwarming stories because, Goob in his way, I call him Goob, he has replaced Wayne in some sort and comforted Gail through this last year. And so he's been there for her. And, there are so many people out there, and I love animals as well. And there's so many out there that would do anything for their pets and help them. And, our pets can get the same diseases as we get, diabetes and Crohn's disease. And, I could go on and on and on. I've got a friend right now, and I recommended to her the sprays because her dog has Crohn's disease. And I said, Debbie, we've got to get him on the sprays, But isn't that an amazing story? But once again, they get issues the same as we do. So thank you, Gail, so much for sharing that story. Thank you for calling. Myself and Melissa was here. Thank you. That was a godsend and a meant to be that we get Goober on these sprays. And, thank you for calling me crying so that I could reach out and help. And, we love helping people, and that's what the 10 sprays are all about. And we love helping our little canine friends as well. So thank you for sharing. That really touches my heart because Gail called us this afternoon and said, you're not going to believe this. Cooper's doing so much better. So we just had to share that testimony tonight. And you now can, our 10 family, you can share it with others. So thanks again. Well, I tell you what, 10 family and guests, we cannot stress enough, as we always do, the importance of this day and time, especially with all the toxins that are in the air and all of the different processed foods and so on that's out there. It is urgent for you to take back control of your health, getting your body back to being nutritionally sound. Prevention is the key, my friends and my family, to better health. It's all about prevention, and the 10 sprays can do that for you. We just heard some wonderful testimonies, and you're going to hear a lot more. So just remember, it is a lot easier to prevent disease than it is to cure disease. So, Cheryl, after all of that and all of those wonderful stories, what's going on and what's happening in 10 right now? Would you just step up and tell us what we got going on in this marvelous company?
Absolutely, Pat. It sounds like to me we have so much going on. It's unreal. So many testimonies going on out there, and it's so great to hear every one of them coming in from everybody. It's just unbelievable.
I know you're a pet lover, Cheryl, so let's get those babies on these sprays, okay?
Oh, I know, Pat. I do. I love my dogs. I have 2 dogs, and I love them dearly. They're part of my family, definitely. They definitely are. So that was a great testimony, Gail. I had heard a little bit about it, but that was a great testimony. And, there's so many people out here that, they love their animals as a big part of their family. So that's a great testimony. That's the first testimony I've heard for an animal. So that was great tonight, Pat. But what's happening in 10 right now is that we all want to really get to know everybody, face to face, and get to meet Mel and Amy, get to look at them in the eye and see who these people really are and what they're doing to each and every one of us. So you want to actually, we're having our next 10 universities on the East Coast at our nation's capital, which is in Washington, D.C., and this is going to be on Saturday, September the 27th. You do not want to miss it because you want to go and see all the people around the world that has the same vision that you do and hear all the testimonies and really be able to touch and feel exactly what you're involved in. So you have two options to book your room. You can book your room online with 10. 10 sent out an email. That email actually went out on 7/17, and you can click on it and book your room from there, or either you can call the hotel and book your room. The person that you would need to speak to is Laura Smith. Again, her telephone number is 877-382-7299. I suggest that everybody get to the event to see and believe and to know where your future is going, and that's very important. So back to you, Pat.
Thanks so much, Cheryl, and that's for bringing us up to date on what's going on with 10, and there's a lot going on out there. A lot of cars are being won. As we said, there are just so many cars that are people are stepping up for getting emails every day about these cars, Mercedes and BMWs, and wow, and I'm working on mine myself. So we want to keep you informed, 10 family and our guests. If you want to join us, be sure for our 10 family, be sure to check your calendar at the bottom of your homepage on your website for all events, your tasting parties, the Super Saturdays, whatever is coming up, because you want to make sure that you attend these and bring your guests and all of your team and get to these functions that are going on. You want to stay tuned absolutely to these amazing calls that we have every day, Monday through Friday. Pastor Denise and Pastor Dale do a wonderful call every morning at 11 o'clock, same number, with the same PIN number. Tuesday and Thursday nights, you've got Pat Lowe, Cheryl Church, the North Carolina, Virginia team. As you can see, you've learned a lot tonight. That's what these calls are all about, is the great information that we're putting out to you so that you can change your health and change the health of others around you. And then also, Mr. T has a call every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 o'clock. So join him on his call as well. Don't forget, please, our wonderful Latino friends out there in California. They, too, have a call. Memo Saints is their leader out there. They're doing a fantastic job blowing it up out there. Please remember their call. It is Monday through Sunday at 12:10 every day. So remember that as well. And also, if you want to go to a recorded call, we have one that's recorded. You can listen to it 24/7. It's 559-726-1399. And your PIN number on that recorded call is 608882. So keep that in mind as well. Now, as you very well know, team, we do not make any medical claims with the 10 sprays that we can treat, heal, cure, or prevent any diseases. But I tell you what we can do. We can provide you with people who can share their wonderful testimonies like our friends tonight did, Ginger, Cindy, Miss Gail, and also Betsy sharing those wonderful testimonies, and you're going to hear more and more and more. So, sorry about that, guys. You're going to hear more and more as time goes on about these great testimonies. So join us on our calls. It's important. You may hear something that you know someone that has that particular disorder, that you can share the sprays with them and what sprays to use and what it can do for their health. There's no greater gift in family that you can give than the gift of health. And after all, your health is your wealth. So, Ginger, have you got some quotes for us tonight? If so, please go ahead and do the quotes.
Yes, Pat, I have 4 of them I would like to share tonight.
Hey, please share, dear.
Okay, the first one, every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength,
the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. That's by Harriet Tubman.
Wonderful.
The next one, the will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. The next one, your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift to God. And last, I think it fits the 10 family perfect. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ginger, for stepping up tonight. We greatly appreciate our team, our Virginia team. We would like to give special thanks to our wonderful 10 family for giving their testimonies tonight. Thanks again, Betsy, Cindy, and Cindy, I'll get it out in a minute, for all of you that gave a testimony. Ginger, that was the other one I was looking for, and also Gail Honeycutt. What a wonderful story about our little canine. Also, thank you, Virginia team, Cheryl Church, the leader, Cindy and Betsy, for once again stepping up and helping us with our call tonight. And Ginger, we greatly appreciate you guys, so special thanks to you. We want to also thank Ginger for those wonderful quotes that you give us as well. So a special thanks to our lovely team members, and also our leader, one of our great leaders, Melissa Honeybee, and our leader, Cheryl Church, for all the wonderful knowledge that you both shared tonight on the 10 call and the 10 sprays. A special thanks always has to go out to Mel and Amy Gill, for giving us this opportunity of a lifetime with these remarkable sprays. They are life-changing, as you well know. We're hearing the testimonies. So thank you, Mel and Amy. We have been able to change lives around the world thanks to you, just one spray at a time. And always, thank you, guests and our friends, for joining us tonight. We want to thank you. We want to, each and every one of you, we wish health to you and wealth to you. And things to remember is just join us back here every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 o'clock on these calls, so you can learn more as to how you can help the ones around you. Thank you for joining us. Good night, 10 family and our friends. And we'll see you back here on Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Good night, everyone.